Homeownership is getting even further out of reach for millions of Americans as the median sales price just hit yet again another new all-time high record. However, there is a little bit of a silver lining, which I will point out for you here in this video. And if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, or if this happens to be your first time, first off, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. But one thing about me, I love a discount, and buyers that are coming into this housing market right now are actually getting some pretty good discounts, and I honestly love that because I am definitely a discount kind of person. I love getting discounts and deals on everything. So when I can see discounts coming in across houses, that's like, hey, that's awesome, and I'm really happy for the buyers as well. All right, anyway, I'm going to pop this article up in just a second here on the screen so you can see exactly what they're saying here, but this is also highlighting the data that I'm going to point out for you here in this video so you can see exactly what's going on with this housing market that honestly has been really tough for a lot of people for the last several years because of a variety of different factors. Anyway, let's pop up this article right here, right now, and I will point out some of the key details about this. All right, so this new report out of Redfin is now pointing out that the median sales price is $396,500. That's the median sales price, right? That's nuts. By the way, that is a new record. Nearly 400 grand is the median sales price. That's nuts, right? Remember a couple years ago when the median sales price was like 300,000 or something even less than that? It was not that many years ago when we were right around the $300,000 range. Now we're $100,000 more. That's nuts. That's a lot of money for a lot of people out there, right? Anyway, here's the cool part about this. The median asking price for homes across the country, a little over $422,000. That's the asking price. But as I always like to say in my videos, who cares what somebody is asking? What are you willing to pay, right? That's the deal. And again, like I said earlier, I love discounts. I love asking for deals. I love just getting a reduced price on anything. I don't care what it is. I mean, literally everything. You got a coupon for that? You got a promo code? You got a deal today, right? Seriously, I'm always asking for deals because why not? I've saved so much money over the years just by simply asking. Well, that's exactly what buyers in the housing market are literally doing right now as well. Again, asking sale or median asking price is a little over 422 grand. However, these buyers are bringing in the median sales price, again, $396,500. So they're literally getting about 6% off or over $26,000 off of the median sales and asking price. Not bad, right? I mean, that's honestly a really nice savings. 26 grand. In this example, now obviously that's not the case for every single transaction. That's just the average across the board. One person might ask of 400,000 and get 400,000. The next person might ask 422 and get 380 or whatever, right? Point being is that it all averages out to these median numbers here, right? Anyway, regardless of how you cut it, sounding to me like a lot of buyers out there are maybe having a little bit of the upper hand during this situation. Because over the last several years, buyers have not had the upper hand in negotiations. It's been very much a seller's market for the last several years, and buyers are just stuck with paying massively higher prices. However, that is slowing down quite a bit here, and we can see across many of the different markets across the country that buyers, it's looking like, are having a little bit more success knocking these prices down a bit and asking for some deals, some concessions, some reduced pricing, things like that. And sellers are going with it, which is honestly really nice too, right? So either way, giving a little bit of a reprieve. However, here's the situation that I want to point out as well. And again, this is no mystery. We all know about this. Here's the problem as well. Mortgage rates are very high still. They've been oscillating between as of recently anyway, they've been kind of been all over the board so far this year, but oscillating between 6.5% and 7-ish%, give or take a little. That's huge. That's really big considering just a few years ago, it was not that long ago. 3 years ago or so, not that long. We were hovering around the sub 4%, upper 3%, 3.5%. It was not that many years ago, right? And even a few years beyond that, a couple years ago, you could get mortgages under 3%, 2.75%, right around 3%. That's practically free. That's practically free money right there. why wouldn't somebody buy a house at that point, right? If somebody could afford it, I mean, that's like practically free money to get a loan, and then you're paying it back with inflated dollars that are worth less and less and less all the time. So you're literally paying it back with dollars that are worthless. I don't know. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me, right? It sounds like a losing strategy for the bank, essentially. Obviously, it's not. They make a ton of money on mortgages, but you still get the point there, right? So anyway, this is going to be a rough situation for at least a little while, but here's another situation I want to point out. It appears, based on the most recent Fed meetings, the Federal Reserve meetings, it's looking like interest rates are going to be coming down here probably within the next couple months. There's been discussion as well that they might start cutting as early as July. The end of July is their next meeting. Okay, they just had their June meeting just not that many days ago as I film this video right now. But the end of July is their next meeting. And then we skip August, and the next one after that is in the middle-ish of September. Okay, but the discussions right now are saying that Fed may start cutting interest rates in July, if not July, for sure in September. That's also going to translate back into lower mortgage rates. It's going to be nice for a lot of people. I don't think they're going to come down, sub 4% again in the next, by the end of this year. Not at all. But within the next, few years, for sure. I wouldn't be shocked at all to see that, especially if we get into a situation where the economy really gets whacked here and we see a weak economy. Fed's going to come in and reduce interest rates very aggressively, which will also flow back to mortgages. And, that'll be great as well. So anyway, I like to watch all markets. I'm watching all markets all the time because I want to see what's going on. Well, first off, I'm fascinated by markets. I love watching stock markets, crypto, real estate, all of these markets all the time. And when I see information like this, I feel like, I want people to know what's going on out there. All right, anyway, if you're somebody that is in the market right now to buy a home, let me point out a couple really quick things here for you. Number one, if you do not need to act fast, it may be of your best interest to wait a couple months. I'm just saying, if you need to buy something soon, by all means, go for it, But if you have time on your side, it may actually benefit you quite a bit to wait until like September-ish. Okay, I'm just saying, a couple more months here, wait a little while here, see what the Federal Reserve does with interest rates. And as we get more inventory coming onto the market, that's also going to suppress price even more because here's the deal. Just like everything else, stocks, crypto, bonds, real estate, literally does not matter. It's all driven by supply and demand, right? So when we see more supply hitting the market, more inventory, as they call it in the real estate market, right? Supply, inventory, whatever, same thing. When we see more inventory hitting the market, that'll likely suppress prices even more. So it may be of your interest to do that. Also, don't be afraid to throw out a lower offer. Who cares? Who cares at all? Like, what's the big deal? Worst case scenario, they come back and say, sorry, it doesn't work for us. Okay, fine. Would you take a little bit, throw a couple $1,000 more on or something, see what else they say. Otherwise, ask for concessions, right? Another thing you can do as well, any realtors watching this are going to absolutely hate me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you want to ask for a lower price, ask the seller to come down a little bit. And if they don't say that, say, hey, agents, would you be willing to cut your commission by 0.5%, 1%, something like that, and then giving that back to you as the buyer in that type of situation? So literally the agents get paid less of a commission, the buyer still gets their money, but then that savings come back to you as the buyer. Does that make sense? Do it. Agents will hate it, but who cares? Who cares about what the agents say? It's not about them, right? It's about you getting a home, and it's about you getting the best price. Anyway, ask for concessions. Seriously. Ask them to cover your closing costs. Ask them to make a bunch of repairs. Ask them to pay down your rate. Whatever. I don't know. Ask for a lower price. There's all kinds of things you can do. So, all right, anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm not going to rant any further. By the way, if you're somebody that's enrolled in Medicare or needs help with Medicare, take advantage of that right there. It's a free team of advisors to help you out with your Medicare. I don't know if that pertains to many of you here that are watching this particular video, but on the channel here, it pertains to virtually everybody because I have a lot of content around that topic. Anyway, Hope this helps you. Please subscribe if you're new here. Please feel free to share this video with your friends on social media. Like the video with the like button down below. Please feel free to check out the nearly 6,000 videos here on the channel in the video library. Otherwise, down below in the description, I've hand-selected some very popular videos for you there. Check those out. Otherwise, popping up on your screen. Check those videos out. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.